2022. So ngayon po, nandito po tayo para pag-usapan ang RMA. Of course, we just started. Today is day 2 of batch 1 of the random manual audit. Bakit po day 2 na? At ngayon ko lang po kayo kinausap. Kasi po, since ang random manual audit will be conducted inside the bubble. So meron po tayong mga preliminaries to which we dedicate day 1. And then day 2 po, dun po tayo nagbubukas na ng balota at nagsa-start ng process. Siguro po natatanong at I'm sure marami pong confused or gustong malaman pa para saan po at paano ginagawa ang random manual audit. So ang random manual audit, it's basically a check-up on the performance of the machine. Yan yung VCM. I know for the previous, yung election to ilang days ago, 3 days ago, marami pong nag-malfunction na VCM. Pero ang tinitingnan din po sa random manual audit actually ay yung pagbasa po ng mga boto or ng mga markings na inilagay sa balota. Yung pagbasa po na iyon, yan po kasi ay merong set of instructions. Yan po yung source code. Nandyan po nakalagay na kapag 25% and above, dapat po yan ay bibilangin. Kung less than 25%, yan po ay hindi dapat bilangin. Kung kayo naman po ay mag-overvote, ibig sabihin mas marami sa allowed na boto. For example, sa presidente, isa lang dapat ang botohin. Or for example, sa senator, kung more than 12, let's say 20 po yung binoto ninyo, yan po ay considered overvote. So may instructions po dyan na kapag overvote, hindi po dapat bibilangin lahat ng boto na ginawa or kinast for that specific position. So meron din po tayong undervote. Ibig sabihin po niyan, less than what is allowed, kaya po undervote. So kung sa senator, bumoto lang po siya ng 5 out of 12, that is an undervote. It won't work to invalidate the votes casted. But yun nga lang po, may mga mamamarkahan pa rin po yan ng makina na undervote. So may 5 pong boto, may 7 na undervote. Yun po yung mga instructions na inilagay sa makina sa VCM at yun po yung magiging gabay ng makina kung paano niya po babasahin yung mga markings na inilagay sa balota. So yung same set of instructions na po yun, ibabahagi or ititrain po natin yung ating mga random manual audit teams to actually follow the same set and read manually yung mga balota. So ngayon po, nagbukas po sila ng mga ballot boxes para po basahin at hawakan ang mga balota. Sila rin po ay manual na nagtatali ng mga boto na nababasa nila sa mga balotang ito. Siguro po, natatanong niya rin, bakit random? So random, ibig sabihin, wala pong human intervention, wala pong preference, walang bias sa pagpili ng mga clustered precincts na masasubject to audit. Paano natin po sinigurado na ito po ay talagang randomized, walang pagpili, walang preference? Katulong po ng Random Manual Audit Committee, ang Philippine Statistics Authority at pati ng independent partner nito, ang Isaka Manila Chapter, to create and check the effectivity of a random selection software. Yung random selection software, nakalagay po yan sa isang laptop na nakaselyado po yan. Pagkatas po i-source code review, sinelyuhan po yung laptop noong April 8 po. And then binuksan po namin siya ulit noong May 10. I hope you were able to catch that. Ginawa po ito sa PICC, sa main stage po ng PICC, wherein we broke the seal and run the software to generate the main list of randomly selected clustered precincts and the contingency list. Siguro po next niyo pong tatanungin para saan ang contingency list. So dahil po physically i-retrieve ang mga napiling clustered precincts, yung mga ballot boxes, maaari po kasing may mga physical limitations po yung pag-retrieve. So dyan po pumapasok yung para saan ang contingency list. Pero as much as we can, we give the directives to the provincial election supervisors to retrieve the ballot boxes that are in the list. So nagkakaroon ng konting hurdle, pero ginagawa ng paraan kasi may resources naman po sa pag-retrieve ng mga ballot boxes na to. So right now, siguro quick update lang as of 12 p.m. today, May 12, we have already retrieved 202 ballot boxes from our from different legislative districts. So we're still expecting, of course, more to come because we, according to the list, we've generated 757 samples of clustered precincts. So it's 202 out of 757 samples. And then yung target naman po para makumpleto yung mga ballot boxes na ito, the directive is to be delivered as soon as possible to the centralized venue here in Diamond Hotel in Pasay City. Kasi po, ang magde-deliver nito ay yung same set of people, yung mga provincial election supervisors. Sila rin po yung magde-deliver ng mga certificates of canvass. So for efficiency, sinasabay na rin po nila yan. At siguro I also, as early as now, gusto ko po rin pasalamatan yung mga watchdogs that are actually monitoring the movement of the ballot boxes that are being retrieved from their origin going here to the centralized venue. So, siguro from the delivery dahil nabanggit ko na po yung mga watchdogs, yung mga independent parties, I also would want to talk about who runs and who are parang the managers of the random manual audit. So basically, it is the random manual audit committee. So it is a tripartite committee. Ibig sabihin, may tatlo po itong main na members. Una, COMELEC. Number 2, Philippine Statistics Authority. And number 3, the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations. So bakit po importante na malaman natin yung composition ng random manual audit committee? Because this is an audit, the members or the people who will be conducting and managing the activity would greatly affect how independent and how credible the results will be. Kaya po, the committee places so much importance on the participation of the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations. So for these elections, the CCSO is chaired by the Legal Network for Truthful Elections, and we are with NAMFREL. So they are also a election watchdog. We are also joined in by PICPA, who is the Philippine Institute of CPA. So they're certified public accountants. Because we are an audit, we would need their expertise for this. So they've been helping us out, recommending audit procedures that could help improve the standards. And then third, dahil po tayo ay nasa pandemya pa rin, we would want to conduct the random manual audit in a safe manner. Kaya po, inimbitahan po natin ang Philippine Society of Public Health Physicians. Sila naman po ang kinukonsulta natin para sa mga safety protocols. Kasi ayaw po natin ng nahuhula lang, ayaw po natin ng mga safety protocols na maaring hindi effective or hindi sumasagot sa pangangailangan ng activity, which is the random manual audit. Gusto rin po natin kasi i-ensure yung kaligtasan po ng lahat ng participants just so they could be able to effectively perform their functions. And then, isa rin po nating partner is the ISACA Manila chapter. So they are cybersecurity experts, infotech experts. So they actually helped us out in documenting and reviewing the code and also making sure that the random selection process using the software that was designed by PSA is also secured. So they gave us recommendations on how to secure the laptop that will be used in generating the randomly selected clustered precinct list. So yun po ang komposisyon ng Random Manual Audit Committee. So ulitin ko po, nandyan ang COMELEC, ang PSA, at ang Civil Society, Coalition of Civil Society Organizations. So mahaba po yung listahan na yun, pero yung listahan na yun ay para po ma-ensure na ang audit ay independent at credible at transparent po. So siguro po kasunod, ang dami-dami pong preparation. We started preparing for the random manual audit as early as May 2021. So para saan po yung mahabang paghahanda na to? So nasabi ko po kanina, ito ay check up sa performance ng makina. Bakit kailangan ma-check yung performance ng makina? Kasi po, syempre, yun po yung nagbabasa ng mga balota at ito po ay, although it's not intended to proclaim winners, kasi po yan po isa sa mga, ano po yan, isa po yan sa mga misconception. That's if you would want to say it that way na, ang RMA, parang nanalo ka sa RMA, so dapat panalo ka talaga sa pagkakandidato mo. That's, I think that's the biggest misconception about RMA. It is simply just an audit. We are not, how do you say, we are not allowed, or it would be inaccurate for us to expand the accuracy rates, the results that are gathered from this exercise, to actually say that a candidate is a winner or a candidate is a loser. So I think as early as now, we would want to focus on the nature of the activity. Na audit po ito, tinitingnan lang po talaga ang performance ng makina. Hindi po ito intended para magproklama ng panalo or magsabing itigil ang count sa ibang lugar kasi ganito yung accuracy rate ng RMP. What can we expect at the end of the random manual audit? Of course, dyan yung usual na accuracy rate. Hinahati-hati po yan into different levels. Merong per position, meron ding by geographics, and then meron ding overall accuracy rate. So, but I would like to invite you to not just focus on the accuracy rate. It might be the most prominent figure after the RMA, but there are other data that we are looking in on. Ngayon kasi RMA is just one of the very few allowed instances or basis for ballot boxes to be open to actually study the ballot. So we're also looking into further or improving how voters are being educated as to how to properly vote. Kasi po nakikita namin dyan na, di ba, ang instruction is i-shade ang bilog na hugis itlog, na fully shade siya. Pero makikita pa rin natin sa mga balota, and we actually take note of that, we would have data, na may mga botante pa rin na hindi pinu-fully shade. So maaring dahil hindi nila pinu-fully shade, akala nila na-count yung boto nila, pero dahil hindi ito nagpo-fall sa 25% na threshold, hindi nasasayang yung boto technically. Or minsan, fully shaded, pero sobra-sobra naman yung binoto. So, yan yung mga tinitingnan natin na more than the accuracy rate, it actually also reflects the behavior of the voter when that voter is filling up his or her ballot. So yan po yung isa sa mga tinitingnan natin. And hopefully, moving forward, we can create better voter education programs or efforts just so ma-eliminate natin yun. So, isa pa, siguro ano pa ba? Yung audit process po mismo, parati nilang sinasabi na talagang rigorous siya. And we try to answer to that demand, for that demand by making sure na rigorous din yung training. Kasi nga po madetalye yung proseso. So sinasagot din naman niya ng training na talaga po nag-i-invest ang RMAC into time and resources para po masigurado na lahat ng participants ay properly trained and equipped to do their function. So sino-sino po ba yung mga participants na to? Unang-una, ang random manual audit team, ito po ay composed of mostly of public school teachers. So sila po magbabasa mula sa balota, sila mag-i-inventory ng nasa loob ng balota. Sila rin po ang magtatali at mag-record. Pangalawa, meron po tayong verifiers. Verifiers, sila po yung primary authority pagdating sa proseso. So sila po yung may oversight o tagabantay kung nasusunod po ba yung proseso sa pag-record, sa pagbabasa at pagtatali ng mga boto. Sila po for this RMA, we required the verifiers to be registered or certified public accountants because we know the expertise is there and they should be involved in this type of exercise kahit po ito ay parte pa rin ng election. And pangatlo, nandyan naman po yung supervisors. Supervisors are mostly representatives from the coalition of civil society organizations. So yan po yung tatlong mga tao na makikita nyo pagdating sa audit floor. Siguro I would just also want to take this opportunity na meron pang pang-apat. Yan po actually ay kayo, ang media, ang mga registered representatives of political parties, partisan entities, other citizens armed groups, and even the general voting public. You are called on or encouraged to be part of the random manual audit as observers and watchers. Bakit po kailangan na may observers and watchers on the audit floor? Parang ang dami na natin doon, pero we still want to invite you kasi we want the process to be very transparent. Although there are limitations as to safety, meron po kaming konting hiling sa inyo as to the safety protocols, but we would still want to make it maintain its accessibility and transparency by inviting and encouraging you to join us as observers and watchers. Meron pong guidelines na nakalabas na ngayon kung paano po kayo makakapunta at makakasali po dito sa audit floor. But we are also thinking of amending it further to make it parang kumbaga yung accessibility is ma-improve pa po. Yes, so yan po, ano pa po ba? Yun po, so ang random manual audit is expected to run for 45 days. We will be auditing 6 positions. So it will be President, Vice President, Senator, House of Representatives, Mayor, and party list. Yung party list po, kung natatandaan niyo po ng 2019, isa po yan sa mga parang naging malaking concern po noong 2019 kasi wala po tayong na-audit na posisyon na nakalagay sa likod ng balota. Kaya po pinakinggan natin yung concern na yon, yung recommendation na yon. Kaya kahit po magdadagdag tayo ng mas maraming oras sa pag-audit, mas maraming resources, isinama po ang party list. So marami pong kandidato doon. I think that's around 200 to 210. Pero sinama po natin siya sa audit. So expect that there will be data that will be presented in the RMA report once it's concluded. So yan po yung anim na posisyon na i-audit po natin. So yun po, kaya medyo tatagal pero ano naman po siya, we're making sure that every day of that 45-day duration will be worth it, and that's why we would also again want to invite you so you can participate here in the audit floor as observers, watchers, and yeah. So just so patuloy lang po natin ipaalam sa mga tao kung paano ginagawa ang RMA, para saan, at sino-sino ang mga nasa RMA. Yan po. Kung meron po kayong katanungan, I think this is the best time for that. Thank you. Meron po ba kayong mga tanong? Wala pa. Okay. Nandito po kami sa Diamond Hotel along Rojas Boulevard, Manila. Pero ito po yung malapit sa katapat halos ng American Embassy. So wag po kayo maliligaw kung pupunta po kayo dito sa Diamond Hotel along Rojas Boulevard. So punta lang po kayo dito. Working hours will start, the audit hours will start at 8 a.m. and we will end every day 6 p.m. So yun po. May mga tanong po ba? Wala naman.
Hi ma'am, from
Yes.
Balitang A to Z. Kailangan pa rin po ba nung antigen test? Kasi trinay po namin pumasok pero need daw po yata.
Oo. Right now, we're trying to work on, kailangan pa rin ng antigen test, pero we're trying to work on providing it to you. Kasi tinitingnan lang po yung budget. Pero we're trying to provide it for you para po pagdating niya dito, matetest pa rin po kayo matetest pa rin kayo dito po sa mismong venue para po tuloy-tuloy po yung pagpasok ninyo. I think Director James Jimenez is also here with us in the Zoom room. Hi, Director James. Director James is now in charge of stakeholder management. So, part po siya ng COMELEC TWG. Director James, hello. Okay, so
hello. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Attorney Helen. So sige po, kapag meron pong mga requests for observation, pakipadala na lang po yung mga pangalan dito sa atin para ma-arrange din natin yung ating yung ating antigen testing. Again, while we're working to see how we can modify that moving forward, right now the overall thrust really is to make sure that the people involved in the process remain safe. Because remember, these people are coming from everywhere. no? I mean, hindi to lahat galing sa area na level 1 or at least, na sure tayong okay lang. So, better to be safe than sorry, I think. So, yun po yung pinaka-thrust dito. So, yes, for now, mari-require pa rin po yan. But sabi nga ni Attorney Helen, we're trying to find ways to make it more convenient and more streamlined for everyone.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you, Director James.
Yes po.
Attorney Helen, Sir
Yes.
James.
Yes.
We have a phone-in question. Ilan na daw po yung ino-audit natin for today, and do we have any information kung from what areas these ballot boxes are?
Okay. Sige. For today, because we've deployed 50 teams for batch 1. So ngayon, day 2, so first time mag-open ng ballot boxes, we are currently auditing 50 ballot boxes also. So we can make this available. We have the list of all the areas and the ballot boxes that are being audited right now. Pero I can give you a quick summary lang po. So since nag-retrieve po itong mga ballot boxes, so most of them, yung mga pumasok are actually from the NCR na din. Ito po yung meron po tayo from Muntinlupa, from Parañaque, Taguig, Pasay, Pasig. Meron din po a huge chunk came from Nueva Ecija. Meron din po another huge part of the 50 cluster precincts came from Pampanga. So yun po. So mostly NCR locations and Nueva Ecija and Pampanga. So medyo nearby provinces. But yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Attorney Helen.
Okay.
Another question po, any insight so far sa nagaganap na conduct ng audit natin sa floor, Attorney Sir James?
Sige. Siguro for the first day, parating challenge ito. Parating challenge is to actually make the information kung para saan, paano, at sino-sino ang nasa loob ng RMA to make it more accessible and digestible. Because personally, alam ko po, yung process po ng RMA could be boring, it could be rigorous and very technical. Pero siguro tingnan po natin kung para saan ba talaga yung RMA, bakit natin in-undergo na tinatsaga na 45 days, audit, training ng training, para saan ito. Again, it's still making sure yung integrity po ng system is maintained just so eventually parang improving the system. Kung meron bang kailangan baguhin, kailangan i-improve, kailangan streamline. And syempre eventually, kasi itong mga machine na to, ito yung bumabasa sa boto ng tao. Yung kung ano yung will nila. And the general public, yes, the general public is actually welcome to witness the random manual audit. Yun lang po, meron lang tayong konting kinakailangan i-observe na safety protocols, which we are working on to make it more convenient and available and streamlined for everyone. Para kahit po mag-walk-in kayo, pwede nyo pong ma-witness on-site ang random manual audits. Pero to also help with that, yung accessibility, the random manual audit floors are being live streamed right now on the Facebook page and YouTube channel of COMELEC. So yan po ay nakatutok sa lahat ng audit floors ngayon, audit rooms ngayon. Ito rin po, meron din po kami sa mismong lobby po ng Diamond Hotel in Pasay, here in Pasay. Meron po kaming viewing room na may malaki pong TV doon na pwede nyo po makita din yung live feed from the audit floors. Yan. At sorry, it will last for 45 days kasi po medyo marami po yung positions na i-audit. And kasama pa po doon yung party list na marami po talagang kandidato. So it would really affect the timeline. So we projected that already. We actually computed na across a ballot box would need 2.5 days to be processed. Yeah.
Thank you, Attorney Helen. That question was from ABS-CBN Jasmine Romero. Do we have any questions po from media in the Zoom room?
Are there areas that you are particularly keen on? Well, as part of the random manual audit committee, it is not something that we would want to watch out for, because we all see the parang there's no preference, no bias. There will be no intervention from our end in selecting the samples. For us, all the 757 samples are all the same. They are ballot boxes that should be processed, undergo the methodology that we've determined. But I think this question is much more relevant, for example, for the observers or the watchers who's from experience, meron po talaga mga watchers na they would have preference or meron silang request na, okay, kapag binuksan po yung ballot box from this location, we hope na present po kami, na mas schedule po na present kami pag binuksan yung ballot box na yun. So, yung ganong, mas relevant siya sa mga watchers. And we try to accommodate that because we understand the concern, and if they would have parang special items or meron silang gusto talaga antabayanan for the specific ballot box for the specific location, then we allow them. Yeah. Mhm.
Attorney Helen, so far, ayan, an additional question from Jasmine Romero. Were there any groups or observers who made the request? And so far, Attorney, siguro, bigyan na rin natin yung information kung sino yung mga nakapag-observe so far.
Yes. So for today, halo-halo po. Meron tayo from political parties. So meron po nag-send ng intention, and we were actually able to observe. Meron po from Anak Pawis. Meron din from the volunteers from the watchdogs. Meron din representatives from PPCRV. Meron din po tayong international observers. So meron po tayo from ANFREL. So they are coming from Thailand and also Maldives. So they are here on a mission to actually observe what's happening on the ground for the Philippine election. So we're expecting more. Meron kaming mga requests from Gabriela, from Anak Bayan, and also even from some representatives of some national candidates. So yun po. But parang again, we welcome everyone. Wala po tayong kinikilingan. You are all welcome. The general voting public is welcome to join us here on the audit floor as observers. Mhm.
Thank you, Attorney. I think that's all the questions from Jasmine Romero. So, kung wala na po tayong questions, pwede niyo naman pong isend sa amin via our Viber chat. And then, ipaparating po namin kay Attorney Helen so that we can add those questions to our succeeding briefings here from the RMA.
All right.
Last message po from Attorney Helen, Director James.
Okay na.
Okay na. Sige, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Hopefully, we get to talk to you more for the coming weeks. Maglalabas din po kami ng mga daily bulletins which you can watch out for para updated din po tayong lahat. Okay, maraming salamat po.